Hi all, in this video I'm going to go over some of the pairs I was watching and go over why I missed my entries on them. I think I missed my entries mostly for two reasons. I had alerts at specific areas, but they didn't come down to my level, and I think I could have still caught it if I was watching the price action more closely, especially looking for signs of failures. So I think the key learning for me, the price does not necessarily have to come towards my perfect level, because due to correlation effects and all that, price may pull back not at the perfect support and resistance level, but it may pull back just a little bit and go up. But the sign for things would be the correlations. But if we're focusing mostly on the price action, I think the reliable sign for these things would be failure structures. I'm going to go over for some of these pairs. So the first one, of course, during all of this watch list thing, I was on a couple of euro pound trades, and I was managing them, and I was also looking for re-entries and that sort of stuff when I was temporarily out of them. So that's one of the reasons for why I missed some of the entries on the pairs, as my attention was not on them as much and I was only relying on alerts. So for pound US, I was seeing this as it's reacting at a very nice daily area over here, and the seller's move down was not strong, so I was expecting another buy move up, and I was wanting to take the buy up to just the top of this seller. So I wanted to take the buy up to the top of this 1 hourly congestion area, because I was seeing some sort of build up of sellers over here, and I did not want to really aim for much higher, although I might have, depending on momentum. But back to the main reason for why I missed this trade. I saw that there was some congestion happening over here on the 15 minutes. Buyers building up their positions, as that was what made sense in the overall story, in the overall logic for this trade. And then I was looking at the market, and price was here. Price was here when I was doing my scans, and at this position, I put my alert at this level, thinking price can come down to this area where it tested and then go up. But that didn't happen. It just did a small test and went up. If I go down to a lower time frame to see if this could have been caught, I see that, okay, price came down, tested this area, buys come up, the sellers hit it again, and then buys come up, the sellers failed to make a lower low. So I think there was an entry over here if I wanted to. Stops could have been below this area, or this area if I wanted to be a little bit more safe, or even below this area. So let's see what that could have been like. I think the most conservative stop loss would have been, if I get my entry there, would have been below this area, target to there, which is still a decent amount of reward potential. So that's I think that would have been the ideal way to play it. So that's pound US, how I could have caught that one. US CAD, I don't think I ever had an entry on this, so this was fine, because I'm still waiting for the pullback to happen. From the bigger picture, the story I'm basing this on is I have the sellers are in control, and I wanted to sell when price gets somewhere around here, depending on momentum of course, but I thought there was good chances of selling if price gets somewhere around there. But for the time being, the up looks good, and it's based on an hour, the congestion on the hourly, buyers building up their positions, and then very nice breakout. So I was waiting for, and I'm still waiting for, a test of this breakout area. Now using similar logic, I think I can wait for sellers to make a failure, then take an entry, stops below here, and take it up if I have enough reward potential, that is. But I may not have enough reward potential if I'm going to have my stops below here. So I necessarily need the price to come down. But of course, I think this congestion is a seller's congestion, that is, the sellers burning their positions. So price may very well come down. Euro pound. Euro pound. This is the one I had attempted, and it looks like I missed the big breakout entry, which I of course could have caught if I had trusted the overall read more, which is a little bit of a challenge for me. Even though my reads lately have been very, very good, I have to trust them more to the extent of letting price test my entry area and then going down. So that is something I will keep in mind. Let's see if there was any better management of this that could have been done. Okay, so anyway, I've covered that already. That's okay. I've covered that in a previous video. Euro CAD also, I think there was a very, very nice entry over here. The overall this was, I started to see, I think, did this have any weekly logic? No, it did not have much weekly logic. It was still a sell, but I'm starting to see the buyers coming strong. So on the 1 hourly, I was seeing very good range building up over here, which I suspect it could be a seller's range or a buyer's range, but at least for this move, this was based on buyers putting up their positions, breakout, test, and move up. And then I was waiting for one more. I was waiting for yes, for this one I remember I had my alert somewhere around here, and it got triggered. That's why there's no alert showing over here. I had my alert somewhere around here, but I did not pay attention to it once the alert was hit, because it looked like the price came down too strong. And the absolutely key lesson for me here is, even if price comes strongly towards alert area, that alert area is there for a specific reason. That is, I expect some sort of reaction to happen over there. So I should still be watching. I should not just take my alert as, my alert has been hit. I should be interested for a trade if and only if the prices come down in a weak way towards my alert area. No, I think the proper approach that this trade has really reinforced is the price can come down any way it wants towards the alert area, and if the alert is triggered, it should be investigated, not just past action, but nearby future action as well. So this is because I can very clearly see now that if I just monitored this future action, I would have found an entry somewhere around here, especially after this, especially in these two candles over there, based on the logic that the alert got triggered, buys come up. This is the sellers area where there was some small sellers congestion and sellers building up their positions. Sells fail to make a low, buys come up. Sells fail to make a low again. I could have got in somewhere around here, or even somewhere around here. So with stop losses, reasonable conservative stop losses would have been below this area over here. So that would have still given a very good trade. This trade is probably still in the cards to go all the way up there. So that was a pretty easy entry. It looks like all of these were correct. They were on the watch list for a particular reason, and they were on the watch list for a good reason. But I missed it because I was too particular for my entries, and I was not very why did I miss this one? Ah, yes, CAD yen, of course. I remember this one. So, I was too particular for my entries, and I was not using my alerts very well. Now, CAD yen, I missed this one. I was a little confused by this one, but then I got a bit more clarity. Now, I was viewing this from the 4-hourly as a potential buy once I saw this strong candle up. That's because on the hourly, this strong candle up, this strong move up looked very good, especially since it looked like buyers were accumulating positions. But I did not like how these sellers came down. So I thought, due to this pause happening at a buyer's area, I thought that may be buyers putting up their positions again. So I was interested temporarily for a buy, even though I was not fully convinced due to that strong move down and the relative position where this was in the range. So once all of this happened, I was not so interested for the buys. This was not convincing me in this congestion area. And once this move happened, I thought, this does look like a move up towards the top of the range. Price is just creeping up higher and higher, but due to how this move came up, it did not convince me for a buy still. And I was thinking it might have been a sell. It might be a sell, but I was not so confident to take it because I was so fixated on that fact that this was potentially a buy. Even though I knew that it still had ample space to go down, it was not really reacting at the bottom of the range, of the 4-hourly range, and so on and so forth. So my read on that was absolutely correct in staying away from the buys, and I just needed a little bit more guts to take the sell. And in fact, I don't think it even was a very good sell for me to take, because it wasn't as clear. I think it was definitely a sell I could have taken, but I was not feeling so confident, and therefore I did not take it. Now, pound CAD. Pound CAD was another one of the very nice trades that I missed, because I was waiting. So the story on pound CAD that I saw was it's reacting at the bottom of the daily range, which was beautiful, which was excellent. And I saw that because on the 1-hourly there was some congestion over here. Buyers building up their positions at the bottom of the daily range, and I was confident it was buyers and not sellers, not just because it's near the bottom of the daily range, because sometimes congestion happens near the bottom and it's a seller's congestion, but because of this move down by the sellers, which was extremely weak and choppy, this move down by the sellers, very weak and choppy, compared to this smoother move up by the buyers and this really nice move up by the buyers. So once price was around here, I was waiting for a pullback towards this area again, especially after I saw this congestion happening where the buyers were already putting up their positions and they made the breakout. I was thinking price can come over here, and the price was around here when I saw this. I thought price can come over here. Yeah, price was around here, I think. I thought price can come over here, then I can take it for a buy. But it was asking too much, I see, of this breakout, because breakout happened, pullback, breakout, pullback, move up again. So it was asking too much for the price to come all the way back here, and if price did indeed come all the way back here so soon, it would have really weakened the effect of this breakout. But I think I had a failure entry if I noticed that a low went up, failed to make a low, so entry could have been somewhere around here, and I could have written it. So anyway, that's all for these missed trades. First analysis. Thanks, and comments and questions are very much welcome.